Did you ever notice how the faster you chase something, the quicker it slips away? We live as if speed is proof of devotion, rushing our hands, our choices, our craft, believing haste will earn us respect or rescue us from ruin. But here is the truth history whispers from cold stone halls. Speed is not strength. It is a bargain struck with panic, and panic never keeps its word. 4 centuries ago, in a place where candles were currency and a single page could feed a family, one scribe learned this the hardest way. His story is not about talent that dazzles overnight. It is a reckoning with the quiet courage to trust unhurried work. If your days are ruled by the lash of urgency, if patience slips through your fingers like sand, step inside. What you are about to hear may steady your life, or cost you more than time can repay. The wind battered the shutters of the scriptorium as Brother Thomas hunched over a sheet of vellum, the pale skin stretched tight upon the frame. He worked by the thin light of a tallow candle, rushing to complete a gilded capital before prime. The abbey needed the patron's gift. The psalter must be delivered before the next market fair, the cellarer had warned. Thomas's hand chased the line too quickly. Gold leaf cracked like frost on a puddle. He pressed harder, the quill snagged, and the vellum tore with a sigh like cloth. Master Rowan, oldest of the scribes, stood in the doorway, his cloak dusted with snow. "Speed is a bargain struck with panic," he said, crossing the room. He touched the torn edge, then Thomas's ink-stained fingers. "Trust unhurried work. The page you force will betray you." Thomas swallowed. "The roof drips over the nave. The Lord expects his book." Rowan nodded. "And wheat expects spring. Yet we do not tear it from the soil in January." He placed a small knife in Thomas's palm. "You can scrape this wound clean if you wait. Vellum heals only under patience." "How long?" Thomas asked, his thoughts galloping toward fines, scorn, and failure. "Until you are slow enough to see the fibers," Rowan said. "Set the knife down. Sleep. You will begin anew at dawn." The night pressed close. Thomas stared at the rip and the ruined gold, at the candle guttering low. He had promised speed, but speed had not promised him mercy. He breathed, the cold air steadying his chest, then obeyed. Thomas set down the knife and closed his eyes until dawn. The knife lay beside the torn page, untouched. When the bell for prime sang thinly through the stone, Thomas opened his eyes to frost-etched panes and a room quiet enough to hear his own breath. The candle had long since drowned in its own wax. Outside, the wind had stilled. Master Rowan arrived without a word and set a bowl of warmed glue on the table, steam rising like a prayer. "Now," he murmured, "we mend." Rowan taught him a practice anchored to the hours. Between prime and terse, scrape lightly with the grain, 3 breaths per stroke, no more. The blade must whisper, not shout. Between terce and sext, burnish the gold with a dogtooth, counting 30 passes, then stop. No pressing, no pleading with the leaf. After sext, sharpen the quill with slow, even pulls, test on scrap, and only then ink a single page. Sandarak dusted on the margins, never in haste. At the sound of each bell, hands lifted, eyes closed, gratitude for what was done, not hunger for what wasn't. Days gathered like beads on a string. The torn sheet became smooth again, its scar invisible beneath careful strokes. Letters straightened. Gilding lay like calm water catching light. Thomas's jaw unclenched. His shoulders dropped from his ears. A messenger came and went, bearing Rowan's honest note to the Lord. The psalter would be slower and better. No excuses, only craft. The Lord, a man who valued truth more than flattery, accepted a single finished folio as proof of intent. Winter relented into Lent. By the time lambs bleated on the hillside and green crept back into the valley, the abbey possessed a book worthy of its prayers. The patron's gift not only repaired the roof. He asked for another volume the next year, citing the steadiness of the work, the trustworthiness of the hand. Thomas felt the change within himself, not a blaze that devours and dies, but an ember that would not go out. He no longer chased pages. He kept the practice, and the practice kept him. Rowan placed a hand on his shoulder one morning as light poured through the eastern window. Growth, he said, is the fruit of a rhythm you can keep. From this story we learn that trusting unhurried work, kept as a daily practice, builds steady growth. Speed may promise rescue, but only patience delivers it. The hands that slow down do not fall behind, they become the ones we trust when everything depends on it.